Hello, and a very warm welcome to another of my anti-aging or positive aging podcasts. Like the previous one, which was on widowhood, this one is on a theme connected with my new novel, and I've got a copy of it now, which is very exciting. So Many Ways of Loving, and it comes out on the 17th of June. So today's subject is in praise of step families. Now, you might find that a little bit surprising, but I think I've much to be grateful for when it comes to step families. And one of my characters in the book, likewise. And I think a lot of you will also understand you come nowadays from, in a blended family. Perhaps there are step grandchildren because your children have divorced or got new partners. We're encountering different people at every stage of our life. So, whereas when I was growing up, I don't think I knew anybody at all who was in a step family. And if you did hear about step parents, it was usually a very wicked stepmother in some Grimm's fairy tale with the emphasis on the grim. So I've been in a step family situation since I married my late husband in 1988. And I have written about what I know here in the book, and one of my characters also married in 1988 and is also a widow. No surprises there, perhaps. And like me, she has found the strength and support from the step family amazing, touching, and deeply emotional, I suppose. Um, I think there is a little bit in all of us, perhaps we fear that when the partner who has provided us with this step family is no longer with us, that perhaps the step family won't really bother with us. And to be reassured all the time by loving texts and kind messages that's you're very much part of the family is very endearing and touching, and certainly my character finds that herself. So the step family proves to be a great support to her in a way that perhaps she hadn't anticipated. And I would certainly say that maybe I hadn't really thought about it that much, but I have greatly valued my husband's children, and indeed all the step grandchildren, so much. I mean, I always did, but even more since I've been on my own. Another of my characters is having a late romance, and she's going to marry somebody who's got grown up children, and she's very nervous about meeting one of the children who is now in her mid 30s. But they hit it off right away and they get on very well. Now, that doesn't always happen, obviously. We don't all immediately like somebody just because we have someone in common that we love. But in this character's case, it's going to be a real bonus for her. And I think that so many of us now do see blended families as being areas of great bonuses and great enjoyment and enrichment. And I feel very strongly that we can glean things actually from step families, and we can feel things in step families that perhaps we don't ever quite feel within our own family, or maybe it's simply that we take our own family so much for granted. So this is very much in praise of step families and all the people out there who are making these new families work, because they are the backbone of our society now, I would say. And lastly, I'd just like to say to you that as I say, I had a lot of support from my step family, and one of the sweetest things was after my husband died, one of my step grandchildren said to me, "Granny Chris, do you remember how Grandad always used to make, lovely afternoon teas for us?" Which he did. That was my husband's thing. If we had step grandchildren to stay or just for tea, David always used to go to the local baker and get a cake made with their names on it. So I think all of them associated Grandad with afternoon teas. So this particular grandchild said to me one day, "So, Granny Chris, please don't be sad, because Grandad's in heaven now and he's eating all the sandwiches." And I thought, That's good. I hope he really is. So that's just one of the things that was said to me that really helped me in the days after my husband died, and that's why I've made this little video podcast in praise of step families. See you next time.